What's up guys, it's Trevor here, and today I will be talking about somewhat of a sensitive subject as well as showing off the ASUS TUF RTX 3060 graphics card. Probably the most underrated card that nobody knows about. Not even on ASUS's website does it show any type of clock speeds, any type of results of anything. Now, if you look at the EVGA card, which, you know, Jay's 2 Cents, Linus, Tech Jesus, they've all pretty much reviewed the EVGA RTX 3060. Why they all chose the same card, I can only guess because it's the cheapest on the lineup. Usually they like to use the better cards to further reviews, and today I'm using a card in a somewhat of a review to show off what this card can do that the EVGA card cannot do. Clock speeds, mining results, gaming results overall. Now there is like one YouTube video right now where a guy is showing off the card's results, which is, let me point out, substantially better than the EVGA card. They are still the 3060s, keep in mind, same architecture for the most part. The IB of ASUS, they also have the Strix card, which usually is like the top lineup. Today I'm going to be actually unboxing this card, showing you what it looks like, and getting all those results on how it actually performs. So nobody's done this yet. Not even, like I said, not even ASUS's website provides you with the core clock speeds, the memory clock speeds, what they're actually at, and overclocking with it. How far can you go till, say, it crashes? How far can you go on the EVGA card until it crashes? I guess there's only one really, out of all the tech tubers there, that kind of mentioned how far it can really go, and they do not go that far. So EVGA is pretty much one of my favorite brands, and they really dump down their 3060s. Let's talk about what's happening in the market right now. Yeah, people are scalping the crap out of these graphics cards. Miners aren't really wanting to buy them because they're all waiting for a BIOS unlock and driver update to be able to, say, unlock it to its full potentials of 100% for mining. According to NVIDIA, they've dumped them down by 50% for their mining hash rates. Well, today we're going to see actually what that hash rate is on the ASUS TUF card. We're going to see, overclocking it, what our best hash rate that I can achieve anyways. You won't get the best result that anybody else plays with it. You might get a better result. I don't know. I mean, that could be Silicon Lottery level stuff too. So this is a brand new RTX 3060. I have yet to open this, and I just want to point out that my first complaint is there's no proof that this has actually never been opened. If you look at this little sticker here, it's not even fully down and comes right off, doesn't take any cardboard off with it, so literally I could sell this as brand new and just tape that right back up. And just to point out, it does say $489.99 on here. When we went to the Micro Center to get this, it was actually like $529. So I just want to say Micro Center scalping, ASUS is scalping, NVIDIA is scalping, everybody's scalping. If I sell this, I'm scalping. Everybody's scalping. So let's see what this card can do. This is kind of how I'm going to open it. Ugh. There we have it. It's just a nice black box. Whoa. So now we got this. Just some styrofoam there. You can see she's nicely packaged away. Go ahead and take her on out. We'll set her right here. Just to see what else is in the box out of curiosity. We got just a little bit of paperwork here. We got the certificate that ASUS always pretty much gives you on any ROG or TUF product. Certificate of reliability, and a nice thank you from ASUS, and the speed step. Oh, we got one more little paper in there. which none of this is really anything. It'd be cool if they gave me like a little ASUS TUF badge. That'd be pretty cool. Anyways, you know, most people have actually unboxed this and put it on YouTube, but I'm not just unboxing it. I'm actually gonna open this and use it. Okay. This might be something that, you know, I might even want to keep for a gaming PC that I'm going to be building. So let me just point that out before y'all think I'm going to go scalp this tomorrow. Let's just take all that off, peel Hornet. This stuff has never gone back on. Don't worry, I'm not about to pull a Linus and drop it. So there you have it. Really nice looking card. Really is. It's a really nice looking card. Triple fan. The only thing I could say is it does have RGBs right here, but that's all it has for RGBs that I'm aware of. It does have a performance mode and quiet mode. So I'm going to keep that on performance mode. So I guess I'm going to peel this back plate stuff off. This is never easy to get off, this back plate. Alright. Pull this off right here. Make it look all nice and shiny. It does say take this off before you continue. So there's the back plate. Very nice looking. This does take one PCIe 8-pin. And today we're actually going to be putting into this PC back here, which is a Threadripper system. It's the 2920X with a X399 Aorus XTREME motherboard. Currently, the processor, the Threadripper processor, is liquid cooled along with the GTX 1080 that I have in here. Liquid cooled. I'm going to keep the 1080 in there, but I'm not actually going to be using the 1080 for pretty much anything. It's just going to be in there. I'm going to go ahead and install this into the PC, and we're going to get some performance results. We got the ASUS TUF RTX 3060 installed. Above it is my liquid cooled EVGA GeForce GTX 1080 Hydro Copper. Like I said before, this is the Threadripper build with 64 gigs of RAM. So obviously we're not going to be really using the 1080. So to reduce, you know, any number, or to actually have real numbers here, I'm actually going to plug the HDMI on here, because you see like this freaking TV over here. Not really pushing out like more than 60 hertz on that or nothing like that. So I'm actually going to go back behind here and unplug the HDMI from the 1080, and I'm going to plug this in to the 3060. That way we get a little bit better results. So there it goes. It just kicked back on. As you can see, we're looking at the RTX 3060 through EVGA Precision. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and start tweaking some of this and just kind of see. And I just installed this. I've not done anything hardly yet, so this is only at 31 Celsius. The fans have pretty much been on fan stop the whole time. Sorry if it's kind of loud in the spot I set my recording device. But what we're going to be looking at here is actual results. So I just got to put this thing in here. And I'm going to deal with the gaming thing here shortly. But what I want to do is just pop open Nicehash right here. And just kind of see what results we got here. Before I let this really kind of go, looks like the whole system just froze. Nice. The more footage, the better. Alright, and we're back, and our fans are ramping up. close this, pause this. The only one I want to mine right now is this 3060. So let's just mine this and see what type of hash rates I'm getting from benchmarking. So now that I'm going to let this benchmark, we're going to actually see real results and what this ASUS TUF card can actually do. I'm going to go ahead and guess about 25. We're going to get about 25 hashes. So basically around like, I don't know, $4 a day maybe. It's kind of what we're going to be looking at on this, and that's just what I'm guessing. And I could be very wrong on that. But the idea here is to actually get this thing working and mining a 3060. And understand that these have been cut down 50% from NVIDIA before any of this is said and done. It's actually just double that if there was, say, a BIOS unlock for this card. Which this card, it's going to probably be longer for a BIOS unlock because nobody's even talking about this card. Everybody's talking about the EVGA card. So let's see what the results are on this card as is. I just got the latest driver for it from NVIDIA, directly from NVIDIA. Downloaded it, installed it. Matter of fact, at first it wouldn't even recognize the card when I first put it in. I actually had to go get that driver manually. So, and of course this setup's a little bit odd because I have actually that 1080 in the first slot. So we're going to see what these results are, and then I'm going to start ramping up fans. I'm going to be probably clocking up just a little bit. Most people like to clock it down, and then obviously I'm going to do the memory clock, and I'm going to kind of clock the crap out of that thing, at least till it crashes, to see the highest level of hashing that I can get from Nicehash. So with that being said, we're just sitting here waiting for the benchmark. Currently right now we're looking at about 53 Celsius. It also says that here over at Nicehash on what this card's actually going to do. So that's really good temps considering it's, well, it's not really loading. Oh, there goes 100%. It's kind of going up and down from 100% on the benchmark. So we're going to actually see how high I can get this on temps. As you can see, it is pushing about 53 now, 54, and it's probably going to keep going up. And I think it's going to max out around 63, probably about 63 Celsius. So once we get the results here off the benchmark, then it's actually going to start benchmarking, and we're actually going to see exactly how much this card makes you in a day. Alright, we're still benchmarking it. It's still benchmarking, and this process does take a few minutes, so we're real close to actually seeing real results here. So pay attention closely also on what we're seeing over here. Actually, let me kind of click that over, at least till the benchmarking is done here. So we're looking at, on the ASUS TUF 3060, we're looking at a memory clock of 7301. Obviously we're going to slide this up quite a bit, but this is all stock clocks. This is what isn't even mentioned on the website. This is what EVGA Precision is telling us. So we're looking at 7301 megahertz on the clock speed, memory clock. We're looking at an actual, the GPU clock is actually 1942, which is pretty good. And it's actually 1852. It's kind of clocking up and down, but it looks like it was stabilizing there. These two numbers right here are kind of like the two main numbers that I really wanted to get. Obviously, we're also going to see how much power. I mean, you could do it through EVGA Precision, but I want to see through Nicehash how much power this thing is actually using. So that's also another thing that, you know, obviously miners want to know. Gamers don't really care so much about what kind of voltages and how much power wattage it's actually using. So we're going to figure that out here shortly as well. And here we go. It is now mining. Profitability should be popping up here real shortly. Looks like the benchmark's done. So right now it's still saying 0, as you can see. The mining portion is about to start. Let me see what's, let me pull this up. Right here, this is what we're actually looking at. So here we go. Hash rates. We're looking at 33.57 right now. And this is without overclocking it. Now, just to try to give you an understanding here. My GTX 1080, the liquid cooled one, which I also kind of clocked quite a bit. Actually, you can actually see right here where I've clocked this thing. You can see I've kind of drug those up a little bit. I didn't want to go too far because I was having just a tad bit of issues, and I wanted this to be very stable, so I didn't go too far. And I looked up online as well to see what kind of speeds I should be, putting this at properly. So as you can see now, it's pushing up at 37, almost 38 hashes, and that is actually really good. I mean, if you think about this, this is almost 40 hashes. This is amazing. If someone comes out with a BIOS unlock or whatever for this, that everybody's talking about, a BIOS unlock, to be able to hash, because they were locked, so you couldn't really mine with them, so they weren't mining capable. But you're looking at 38.57. If you double that, that's almost like 75 hash. And just to throw out in comparison, I did see what the hash rates were for the EVGA card, and I think they were up to like 32 at max, and that was with them overclocking. And their base, just throwing it in like how I did here, they were only getting about 20, and that's just about as much as my 1080. So now we're looking at the ASUS TUF card, which is, let me point out, $200 more EVGA card. And I'm doing a lot of comparisons on the EVGA card because that's what Jay's 2 cents, Tech Jesus from Nexus, that's what Linus has been talking. Everybody's talking about the EVGA card. Well, nobody's talked about the TUF card. And yeah, it's like $500, $529 at Micro Center, even though the box actually says it was $489. But everybody's scalping. So this card is actually doing really freaking good. At 38, I can probably very easily do a couple tweaks and get this thing past 40. Let's see what it does. Let's see what it does. As a matter of fact, we got to see where this also crashes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all go over here, make sure I'm clicked on the 3060. And as you can see, that we are on the 3060. And this is the ASUS TUF once again, just so you know. We're going to go ahead and ramp these speeds up on the fans. I'm going to link them together. So even though it's kind of odd because there's 3 fans on this, but it only shows 2, but that's all right. We're actually going to ramp this up and see kind of how loud this is. And I'm sure you kind of hear the fans pushing through the radiator at the top is where I got my recording device, but I'm going to go ahead and apply this. Let's see how loud it gets. And that's actually pretty freaking quiet. I think it's still kind of ramping up here. Yeah, that's a lot quieter than the RX 578 gig module I was playing with too. Probably like at least a fourth quieter. 3/4 quieter, I meant. Alright, so as you can see, we're still we're dropping down to 36 a little bit. Which, it'll drop down just a tad bit. So now let's go ahead and do, let's just take a wild guess here and do a plus, let's do a small 50. Let's do a small 50 just to kind of gain just a tad bit and see what impact that actually makes on the hash rate. Right now we've dropped down to 36.91, which is almost 37. Now we just made a quick adjustment, so now it's going to come back and tell me something new here. This is only just a plus 50 clock. As you can see, we got 37 now, 13. So I guess it went up just a little bit. And the fan speeds are kicking up in the whole PC, obviously. And temperatures are looking good at 46. Clock speed actually jumped up to 1860, or jumped down, I should say, because it's not really using much clock. Let's see, we got 37.41. So yeah, it went up just a tad bit. So now let me kind of crank this, where I still feel it's safe, but let's do about 222. Okay, let's see what 222 does. 3, 2, 1, boom. Alright, now the next hash rate that shows up, this is what's going to be getting interesting, because if I can push over 40 on this, I believe that's actually becomes worth it for mining. So everything that NVIDIA did was pretty much freaking pointless. Yeah, it's still saying 3741, so let's wait for the next summary here to pop up. And there we go. We've hit back to 38. Is that right? 3807. Okay. So I'm gonna let this I'm gonna get one more summary here just to kind of verify once again that I am pushing 38. Like I said, I'm gonna be able to. I've still hardly cranked this. Let's be real here, but 38 is still an amazing hash rate. See, it's still slightly going up from 07 to 20 now. So I feel like just a couple more rounds of this going summarizing, this is actually going to give about 40. I think this is going to be fairly easy to achieve 40 hashes on the hash rate to be able to mine with. I mean, that's, if we look what that is on a daily profit, we're looking at about $3.19 right now. So, and that's not exactly accurate, keep in mind. Let's see. It takes time to actually get these real results. Right here it does say 36 hashes. So once again, we're actually almost at 40, so really that's like, I don't know, like $3, and probably I could get this up to $3.50 a day. So really it's not that bad, but it's not exactly what we want. So, and hash rate times went down in considerably amounts. A 3070 was pretty much getting me like $10 a day. So let's look back here. Still at 38. Now I'm going to start cranking this just to see. Right there, once again, the last one said 30.08, 38.08. So now we're going to crank it. We're going to crank this thing almost we're going to put this at almost 1,000 right there. Now keep in mind, I can still keep on going further with this. I could lower voltages or power targets, stuff like that. I do have the fans at 100%. I'm not going to mess with voltage. I don't need to mess with voltage. See, it did kind of drop down there at 37.62. It'll go up and down here. We're going to go up and down. Now it's going to go way up. Let's see what we get now. On 1,000 overclock on the memory. Ooh, just tipping the 40. Just about to the 40. About 0.54 away to get the 40. Normal stuff here on the power clock speed, just only 100 over, and then the memory clock once again is going to be plus 1,000. So let's go ahead and start this hashing again and see what we got and what it says. This may or may not work, and obviously my 1080 is on there and you can see it, but it's not. I'm not mining with the 1080 yet. 22 right now, but at least we've seen what it can do. And that's the whole point of this. Because I want to see you do this with an EVGA card and see what it offers you. Because usually I was seeing about the same thing here with the EVGA card right now. Which obviously I got some tweaked settings going on. We're going to go ahead and just do a simple benchmark on this card. Now we're going to go ahead and run this time spy. Basic settings, as you can see, the standard. Alright, we're going to go ahead and benchmark it. So, we're looking at about a little under 200 frames per second right now. And you probably can't see that at the bottom, so let me adjust this here. Yeah, we'll just kind of go over here and show off. It's a little over 200. So we're gonna come back and let this kind of go through, and we're gonna get the averages and everything like that and show those off. Alright, we're still running this. We're looking at still over 200 for most things. Keep in mind, this is a pretty big screen, but it's just a TV, and this is only like 60 hertz. Still pushing that 200 over 200 very easily. As you can see up here, it also shows the 1080, but I don't think that's really doing anything. So basically this 1080 is not doing anything because you can see that the speed on the graphics and memory is not really up there at all, and I know that that can go way further. So there it is. So our benchmark score was about 5,286, and not bad at all. I mean, minimum frames per second was 9.6. I don't know how we ended up with that, but our max was 421.9. That is pretty nice. This is once again just the Threadripper, and I don't believe that 1080 was really doing anything. Not to mention that the GTX 1080 is actually an 8 gig card, and it's saying 4,095. So yeah, not bad results for gaming. So once again, this is the system that I'm working with. This 1080 and the Threadripper is liquid cooled. We got the RTX 3070 TUF down here on this Aorus XTREME motherboard. So it's not the greatest of the cable management right now because I kind of just threw this thing in here just to test it out. But this is basically the build that I'm working with, and it's looking like the results have been pretty good so far. Like, I'm actually very impressed. Definitely a lot more than the EVGA card. $200 more though. Is it worth it? I guess that's kind of a biased opinion because you could literally spend, I don't know, $300, $200 more and get like a RTX 3080 brand new, which would give you like more than double the hash rate probably, or if not double the hash rate, as well as the gaming performance. You get a lot more frames per second and a higher heaven benchmark score. But my thing is that this card, for the price and availability, because it is available for the most part, at least at Micro Center it is, but if it's available, this is actually a decent buy. It's about $500, and you get some pretty decent results. I mean, if you can get it, get this one, not the EVGA card. I mean, honestly, it's $200 less, and it'll get you by. But if you really want to play some real games and not worried about frames per second or issues, then yeah, the TUF card's the way to go over the EVGA card if you can swamp out that, say, $200. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. Otherwise, subscribe. You will see me next time on another video. But for now, just do it. Just buy the card if you can get it. Don't scalp it. Thanks.